Hello, my fellow GPA members. It is with a heavy heart that I reach out to you today. I am sure that you are all feeling similarly, feeling the stress of not only another attack in the ongoing racism pandemic in our country, but the intensity of this most recent event, happening as it has in our home state. As many of you likely know, on March 16th, 8 people were killed in shootings targeting Asian businesses in 3 locations in Acworth and Atlanta, Georgia. 6 of the victims were women of Asian descent. All of the victims, including the sole survivor, appear to have been people of color. GPA wishes to honor the memories of those who were killed in these horrific attacks and to stand in solidarity and community with our Asian American, and Pacific Islander members, as well as the larger AAPI community. We hold in our hearts all people of color and marginalized community members, knowing that discrimination breeds discrimination, and setting the intention that we will not normalize behavior that devalues any life. Tragically, anti-Asian racism and violent attacks on Asian individuals, particularly the elderly, have only increased in recent months. Many of these incidents are not reported and are invisible to major media outlets. A coalition of Asian American groups has created a reporting center called Stop AAPI Hate. This center has received reports of 3,795 incidents of racism, hate speech, discrimination, and physical attacks against Asians and Asian Americans from March 2020 to February 2021, a 15.3% increase from the previous year. This number is likely an underestimate. Here in Georgia, the same project received 32 reports of incidents of verbal harassment, physical assault, civil rights violation, and other hateful acts committed towards AAPI individuals over 7 months. These included multiple incidents in which AAPI citizens were blamed for disease and verbally or physically chased from an area. During these difficult times, I would implore all of you, myself included, to speak up against injustice, to speak out the truth and act to make it heard. The Georgia Psychological Association values our diverse membership and stands against discrimination. As an organization, we are committed to social justice and multiculturalism. We reaffirm our commitment to the American Psychological Association ethical and multicultural guidelines, which make clear that we must advocate for and protect the human rights of others. As leaders in society, psychologists have the opportunity to use our voices to amplify those of historically marginalized groups and/or social and intersectional identities, and to combat racism and other forms of prejudice in our society. I am so grateful for the work that so many of our members have done throughout our history, and particularly in the past year on issues of racism and intersectionality. Thanks to our Diversity Directorate, we have a library of resources relating to the racism pandemic, to which I will add just a few that have particular relevance to these recent events. We will include with this message the GPA Diversity Statement, as well as links to our existing racism pandemic resources, to which these new resources will be added when possible. I want to encourage you all to reach out, get involved, report hate crimes, donate to relevant organizations, volunteer, and just check in with your colleagues, friends, and patients. Please take care of yourselves and one another. While these words are oft repeated, I think we can do little better than to return to the words of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. Thank you all for your time.